Hey, welcome to another episode of Big Country Living. This is a continuation video for the deer processing. I'm actually getting ready to make hamburger meat, and I may on this video or may not, or maybe the next video make sausages. But I'm going to show you guys a series of videos from start to finish, from me killing that deer and processing that deer fully. Now the deer meat that I'm finna make is the deer meat that I aged. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna take my hamburger cuts and I'm gonna mix that up with beef fat. Now let me just say real quickly, there is a difference in the fat that you choose. Now I chose to get my deer fat from the cut of the deer, the cut of the beef that's on the sirloin and the ribeye meat. The sirloin fat, the sirloin is the most beefy taste on the beef. It's the best taste on beef that you can get. It's not the most tender steak, but it's the best tasting as far as beef tasting on a beef. So the sirloin fat is going to be the most succulent taste that you can get as far as fat is concerned. The next is going to be your ribeye meat. It's the in-between taste. It's succulent and yet juicy. So that's going to be my next best choice. My last choice is going to be from my other meats like my chuck and things like that. Chuck is going to have a good flavor on it too, but it's not going to be as potent as the sirloin and the ribeye. So any of it can work, but if you're going for flavor, then it is going to make those subtle differences when people cook that meat. They cook your hamburgers. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I'm doing. I already got most of it cut up. Let's see, where am I? Okay. Let me move some of this out the way. So this here is the frozen meat that I had. I'm just gonna cut it. My knife is super sharp. Remember, I love sharp knives. They make your job a lot easier. This meat is frozen. And I'm cutting right through it. Be careful. I'm rocking that blade. So I'm just gonna throw it over here on the hopper. I already have my fat and my other meat cut up. I'm doing 25%, doing 20 to 25% fat ratio to meat. So you can just weigh it up. And if you have 5 pounds, that's a pound and a quarter, a pound of, for every 5 pounds of meat you have a pound and a quarter of fat. I'm mixing this fat in with it as it goes, so that I can get some meat, some fat, in there at the same time. And if you look at my hopper, this thing has ice on it because I froze this thing. I put it in the freezer because I want it as cold as possible. The fat and the meat, I want it as cold as possible. I just want to mix it in as I go. I'm gonna put some of this here because it's a lot in that hopper. But I'm not really concerned about spreading that fat out too much because I'm gonna run it through there 2 times. And I'm not cleaning this just because it's the camera. This is something I do all the time. So I'm stickler. Okay. I don't know. Let's see if I can raise this up. Yeah. Let's see if I can get it in there. Yes, there you go. I have 2 trays. I have this here, and I have this here. And usually, when I'm doing my meat, I use the bigger, flatter one, so I can do some mixing on it. And I have I'm hands-free because a lot of times I'm doing it myself, but I have a foot pedal down here, a pedal that I have that I use to help me turn this on and off. This is one of my smaller ones, processing hoppers that I have, or mixers or grinders that I have that I took out of my meat processing plant back down in Azle, Texas. So I keep this, and a lot of stuff you'll see me with, it's gonna be commercial. So this is what I have. This is my best friend because it saves my fingers. Oh, I have to turn it on, don't I? Back here. Let's see, forward. Right now I'm doing 10 pounds, so it makes quick work of this. I normally do somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 pounds, maybe 100 pounds of beef. But you know, this is home use, and I didn't kill but 3 deer this year. So I usually kill 3 to 4, maybe 5 in a week. And we have doe tags, so we can kill as many as we want to. So I'm usually making a lot more, and I give a lot of it away to family members. I have older family members that can no longer hunt. So when they ask me for some, you know, I got them, you know. Keep in mind, I already aged this. That's 10 pounds right there. I've already aged my meat, so a lot of that wild taste is gonna be, it's gonna dissipate, so it's not gonna be there. So it's not gonna be there. So as you can see already, let's see. As you can see already, it's already started to look good. And this stuff is ice cold. That's what you want. And this hopper is cold too, so it's going to help that fat stay, keep its shape, and not start to sweat. And that's going to help your meat in the long run. So what I'm going to do now is take all of this, put it up here, and I'm going to force it back through the hopper. Now, the first 5 seconds is going to go back in here because it's what's usually inside of my hopper here. So I actually have a smaller blade here that I could use twice, or you could use your sausage blade twice. So, or you can use this blade one time and use your sausage blade twice. So, I don't want to use that yet until now, before I turn this on, I want to mash this down in here. Mash that air out. That way when I turn it on, it's gonna have time. You see that? This is what 5 seconds. That right there is going back in there. Now this will go in there. When that meat is cold, when it's got that ice crystals in there and this hopper is cold, it'll go right through. And it's also good when you can use 2 hands when you're by yourself. And this works real well when you're making sausages. You can hold the sausages and you can stop and go as you please. Oh yes. Now again, I'm gonna take a handful, stick it in there, because I want the rest of this in here to process. I want it to all come out. This is my 10 pounds of deer sausage here. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this blade off and I'm gonna put a stuffing blade in so I can stuff it into my 1 pound packages. So that's me making deer hamburger meat that fast. You might have a smaller hopper, or we say hopper because really it's a grinder, but this part is the hopper. And this helps grind it. So you might have a smaller grinder overall. So you may take you a little bit longer, but it took me less than, with the video, it says 1402. So let's go. It took me really, in reality, it takes about 5-10 minutes to do. And that's 10 pounds. So I already have everything cubed up and ready to go. So I appreciate it. I'm gonna have 10 tubes of this, and this is just 1 bag. So I'm gonna have 10 tubes of this, and then as I continue on, I think on 1 deer, I have maybe 80 pounds of meat. If I measure 65 to 80 pounds of meat, that's without the fat, that's on 1 deer. And I do have steaks from that too. So just do that. It's real easy, but keep in mind the ratio: 20 pounds to 25 pounds. 20 to 25% of fat with your meat, and that's going to give it a real nice taste, run it through that hopper, keep it as cold as possible. Almost still frozen is the best. It's going to run through your grinder better. It's going to run through that hopper, and it's going to mix better. Also, make sure that you package it well. To me, if you're going to put it, if you don't have seal bags, what you're going to want to do is go and get you some butcher paper, wrap it, put it in clear paper first, wrap that in butcher paper, and stick it in the freezer. And it's gonna, that butcher paper or freezer paper is gonna make it last longer. And wrap it in plastic is gonna keep the air away from it. So it's almost like sealing it. They've been doing it for years. My grandfather and them used to do it. I did it for customers at Sprouts and things like that. And I do it for my home uses, things I'm gonna get right away. Because I own deer processing plants, I have access to a lot of things that the professionals have access to, but I'm still a country boy. So I still do it the cheaper, easier way. Hey, thank you again. Any questions, just hit me up. Don't forget to subscribe and push like on that button. Thanks, bye.